Recently, I've created a series on my channel and it is split into 3 parts. This is the second part. If you have already watched the first one, welcome back. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome. This is the second part of our success series. Just a quick recap of the first part. I shared the mindset shifts I have for success. It focused on reframing our minds and altering the way we approach our goals. Instead of viewing success as an unsurmountable mountain, we redirect our focus on the single step right in front of us and treat that as the first one that we need to overcome. If you haven't watched the first part yet, I've included the link to the playlist in the description. Honestly, I hesitated about sharing this story because it felt somewhat narcissistic and a bit foolish. But then I remembered that I discussed the importance of not judging your ideas beforehand in this channel. And it's a lesson that I want to reinforce for myself. There are really no stupid ideas. I like to think of it this way. As humans, we're all different. We come from different backgrounds and each of us has gone through different experiences in life. Some people experience life's uglier side earlier, while some experience it later. These distinct experiences shape our perspectives and our way of thinking, leading to the conclusion that there truly are no foolish ideas. So you need to push past that unpleasant thought that says, I better keep this idea to myself because some people might find it stupid. I mean, even if people find it stupid, you should still be someone who is right up your alley. If you believe and you know that what you have to share is valuable, then there's no use in keeping it all to yourself. If you share it, other people might learn from it, and that's a win-win. I know it might be a little off the topic, but it's just something that I want to get off my chest. So here's the story. 3 weeks ago, I reached my first YouTube milestone. I got my first real subscriber and I got my first organic comment. Crazy, right? I remember I was at work. It was during my break. I was checking YouTube Studio when I saw a notification. I opened it and it was a comment someone made on my video. I can still vividly remember the feeling I felt at that moment. My smile stretched from ear to ear because thankfully, it was not a bad comment. I even thought of printing it and putting it in a frame. Foolish, right? I was over the moon to say the least. I don't know, because it just validated all the work that I have been putting out leading up to that point. From the moment I created this channel, I ingrained in my mind the principle that I wouldn't allow the numbers dictate my attitude towards creating content. Creating content based on my interests and documenting my thoughts remain my primary motivation. Yet on YouTube, I found a platform with the potential to unite people and foster communities, much like the one I'm part of. Platform like this, if used effectively, can serve as a source of inspiration and motivation for others. If fate allows, I would love to be one of those sources of inspiration for others too. Starting from zero or starting from scratch is undeniably daunting, but it's also a profoundly humbling experience. Along the journey toward one's goal, it's easy to feel intimidated. What I've discovered to be immensely helpful is celebrating the small victories. As the saying goes, success is the sum of the small efforts repeated day in and day out. Let's use YouTube as an example here. I believe all creators would agree on one thing. Being a one-person production is incredibly challenging, and it's not sustainable for the long run if you don't make an effort to recognize or validate all the work that you do. Sure, reaching a certain amount of subscribers is fantastic, but honestly speaking, that's a faraway destination from where you are right now. And postponing happiness before reaching that milestone wouldn't sustain you in the long run. That's overly future-focused. And as we know from psychology, fixating on the future breeds anxiety, which is something we want to avoid. So here's my take. Rather than fixating on distant goals, let's zoom in the present. You recognize your goal, breaking it down to the smallest actionable thing you can do, the smallest thing you can achieve today that will provide you a little dose of happiness when you achieve it, to nudge you to take the next step. Because guess what? If you are not very good at celebrating the small victories, you won't be very good at celebrating the big ones either.